Okay. So, first of all, I just wanted to introduce myself. I probably know some of you, but some of you I probably don't. My name is Samantha Thompson, and I'm an executive director. I am in Springfield, Ohio, so about an hour from home office. I initially joined 31 in June of 2011, and my why was to make some extra cash. I wanted to be able to pay for things like trips to the zoo and gymnastics lessons and things like that, guilt-free as a mom. I quickly fell in love with our product. It was funny. I had never had a catalog or been to a party before I joined, but I quickly fell in love with our product and the extra income, and I began sharing the opportunity with everyone I knew. And before long, I was making as much as a consultant as I was with my full-time job as an accountant. And so I decided to quit my full-time job and do 31 full-time. So I'm really excited to be here with all of you guys today. I love training and teaching. It's probably one of my most favorite things about my job. So it's super rewarding for me to be able to share my heart and what I'm passionate about with each of you. I also wanted to just take a minute and just tell you guys to give yourselves a pat on the back for attending this retreat. I know it's not always easy to get that time away from home and the costs and all those kinds of things. So just want to give you a pat on your back for investing in yourself and your business. I find that these retreats really make a huge difference in your business. So you're in the right place if you want to grow your team or grow your paycheck or even grow your heart with your mission of your business. So with that, I am going to teach you guys 2 topics today. We'll take a quick break in between so that if you guys aren't getting too worn out from hearing my voice. But if you have questions, just kind of flag me down, or if we want to wait to the end, I can kind of do questions. I'm going to go through a lot of wording in this, and hopefully Danielle has a group that I can share that wording with you guys. So if you don't get it all wrote down, don't worry, I'll share that stuff with you guys. So just focus more on kind of listening, and then I'll share my wording videos with you guys.
Awesome, thank you.
I am going to screen share. Okay, so I'm going to talk to you guys first about Hostess coaching. Just by a show of hands, how many of you guys do home parties? A couple of you. And then the rest of you guys are doing mainly Facebook parties? Okay, so I'm going to go through both. You might feel like I only do Facebook parties, so this doesn't apply to me with home parties, or vice versa. And I'm just going to tell you, if you want to grow your business as a leader, 1, you need to be able to do both, because your customers are going to want both. You're going to have customers who like both of these methods. But 2, even if you are only strictly on Facebook, I only party on Facebook. If that's how you feel, I'm not talking about me, but if you feel like I only party on Facebook, you might have team members who prefer to do the home party. So I think it's important to know how to do both and how to hostess coach well for both. So, okay. So first of all, why is hostess coaching so important? And the reason why is because it impacts every area of your business. It's going to impact your sales, your bookings, and your potential recruits. When you hostess coach well and you have more guests at the party, all of these things go up. So it's important because hostess coaching is probably the #1 thing you can do today to grow your business. Oops. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to talk to you about is face-to-face parties, whether you're doing a home party or at a restaurant or something like that. So I always start with a great hostess packet. I think this is really important, and I get it to my hostess 2 to 3 weeks before her party at a minimum. In my hostess packet, I have a letter of what I want her to do, and it's 4 things. I keep it really simple. So the first is I want her to invite people. So I'm going to invite people 2 different ways for my hostess or for my face-to-face parties. So I'm going to have her come up with that guest list, and I have her give me the addresses of her guests so that I can mail them invitations. You can choose to do it differently, but you want to make sure that you're inviting 2 different ways, and that with your hostess coaching letter, you are explaining to her how you want her to invite it.
Hey, we can
Everybody can hear me better now. Okay, so the first thing is that I want her to invite people. The second thing I want her to do is send out a reminder before the party. And I'm going to give that reminder to her, but I want her to send it to her guests. The third thing is I want her to collect outside orders. And then the fourth thing is I want to find out who's the next party, who is interested in partying with me. So those are my 4 steps that I have her do. I will share my hostess letter with you guys. I hope that you would create your own using my example and not just use mine. But I'll share it with you so that you at least know kind of what those steps look like. I also make sure that I give her opportunity info because your hostess is your best potential team member. Of course, catalogs and order forms. Okay, so the first step to a great face-to-face party is the invites, and you want to invite your guests 2 different ways. So some of those ways are a mailed invite, a Facebook invite. We don't have Red Stamp anymore, but Canva, you can do kind of the same thing. Email, or even just a flyer that she's passing out. So I don't care which 2 ways you use. My preference is a Facebook invite and then also a mailed invite. If that's not what you want to do, you don't have to, but I always would say invite people 2 ways. It makes a huge difference in how you get your guests there. The second thing that I recommend is to choose a theme. So I like themes like brownies and bags, women and wine, tacos and totes, pizza and purses. But the theme should be your title of event. I want you to think about when you've been invited to a Facebook event and it says Mary's 31 party or Mary's bag party versus brownies and bags girls afternoon. Do you see the difference of which one sounds more fun? Mm-hmm. So I always make my hostess choose a theme and I tell her, what theme would you like to do? And then I give her 4 choices. So I don't just say, tell me what theme you would like, or if you want to do a theme, let me know. You need to remember that you are the expert here and you are the one who knows how to have a good party. You're the professional and you care more about this party than she does. This is your paycheck. So you don't want your hostess controlling your paycheck. So I give her a choice, and then if she, is like, oh, I don't know, I explain to her why it's important, and I talk to her about how we really want her party to be all about fun and not just about sales, and that choosing a theme will help get more guests in the door. And then she'll be like, oh, okay, how about brownies and bags? So then when I make my Facebook event, I always title it that theme that I've chosen. I'm going to go back here for just a second because I want to share it with you guys. With my mailed invitation, I do a mini catalog with my label on it, and then I print out the invitation from TOT that has the special on it, and I put it in a hot pink envelope. I'm trying to see if I have one. I don't think I have one handy, but I use hot pink envelopes, and then I print those, and on the front it says, please deliver to the fabulous, and then it puts her name. So I'm making it really fun. And then on the back, I'll put, you and a guest are invited to a brownies and bags girls afternoon. So I'm really about making that invitation look fun and exciting. So when she opens her mailbox and she has a hot pink envelope, it's going to be the first thing she opens. And it's going to grab her attention and make her excited. So I get my envelopes from envelopes.com. You can also get them, I think, at Office Max sometimes has pink ones. If a bunch of you guys want to go in together, it's cheaper. You can order them in bulk and then split them up. But I always, I guess I skipped, that's what I did. I skipped a slide. Okay, so when you mail your invitations, you're gonna have less cancellations because she's already got invites in the mail. And so it just makes it a lot easier on your hostess. And I'll tell you, mailing that is 1 stamp. So for me to mail 30 invitations, it's costing me $15. And I'll tell you, when I started doing this, my average home party went from $300-ish to $700. So I definitely more than made up for it in the commission. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Anybody having questions on those invitations?
It's a must for me. I do it too, and I can my same way. I love your little tips though of making the invitation fun.
Yeah, and again, I'm the professional, so this isn't really an option for my hostess. Is I have some of my consultants will say, well, what if she doesn't do it? It's not really an option. So when I sit down and I talk to her about hostess coaching, I say the very first thing I want you to do is get me the addresses of your guests, because this is what's going to get the most of them into your party. You have to meet your hostess where she is. So some hostesses are gonna be like, okay, and they'll just do whatever you tell them to do. Other hostesses might give you a little more resistance. And if you explain to them why you're doing what you're doing, it's gonna make a difference and she's more likely to cooperate. So if I have someone who might be giving me a little bit of flack on this, I'll tell them, you know, hey, I know this is going to take a few minutes of your time, but if you just send out a quick text and say, hey, girl, what's your address? You don't even have to give her the details of the party. That's what the invitation will do. And you get these to me, I'm going to mail your invitations. This is going to get more people in the door so that you get more free product, and your party is going to feel fun for your girlfriends and not feel like they're pressured to buy. So that kind of will make a difference. Okay, sorry, I missed this slide earlier, so I need to go back and catch that. Okay, so back to my Facebook event. So typically I don't even create my Facebook event until after I have her addresses, because once I create the Facebook event, she's gonna invite people on there and I kind of lose control of making sure she does the addresses. So usually once she mails me the addresses, I'll go ahead and create her Facebook event and I tell her we're gonna invite those exact same people. Now I actually give her this exact wording because I want her to know that she needs to invite 40 to 50 because only 20 to 25% will come. But then I also want her to know, don't invite 150 because then it feels spammy, right? So I give her the exact wording so that I make sure she knows how many I want her to invite. I think it's a miss if you just send her the link or you just create it and then let her go to town, because you're going to end up with either not enough people invited or too many invited.
Yep.
All right. So the second thing that I do is gather interest. So I'm going to post a few fun graphics in the event. I'm not going to overwhelm people. I'm not going to post every 2 or 3 things a day. It's too much. So it's going to be probably 3 posts before the party. And I'm just generating interest. So I might post a video of the customer special. I might post a cute graphic from TOT of our product. That's really about it. Also, when I send those invites out, I send her one too so that she knows exactly what everyone else got. I stay in contact with her. So I'm going to, after I get her invites out and I get her to invite people on Facebook, you know, then I'm going to talk to her about what are you looking forward to earning? Who's coming to the party? You know, I don't want to talk about diaper bags if there's a bunch of retired women at the party. I don't want to talk about creative line if there's no one there that likes to do crafts. So I'm going to keep in contact with her. And then the next thing I'm going to talk to her about is outside orders. So I usually try to have her set a goal of get 3 orders from people who are out of town and 3 orders from people who can't come. Sometimes just putting it in the frame of mind of 3 and 3 makes it seem way less overwhelming. We all know that our average guest spends $65. So this is going to be a pretty hefty amount of outside orders, right? She's going to have $300 to $400 in outside orders. But if I just told her to get $300 in outside orders, it might seem a little overwhelming. So I'm actually giving her the people to reach out to get those orders from. Okay, so that's pretty much what I do to hostess coach for a home party. All that work, as you can kind of see, is really about the inviting. And if you get people in the door, the rest of it's pretty magic. You know, when you have 8 to 10 guests at a party, your sales are going to increase, your bookings are going to increase, and your potential team members are going to increase. So before I move on to Facebook parties, does anyone have any questions about that?
Any questions? Nope.
Okay, perfect. All right, so hostess coaching for a Facebook party is a little bit different, and it requires quite a bit more work on your part. But how many of you guys have done a Facebook party and it bombed? No one ordered, or no one participated, or there was 300 people in the party? Right? Frustrating. So I'll be real honest with you. I started in 2011, so we didn't really have Facebook parties. I was a home party girl. And when Facebook parties started coming around, I would have Facebook parties and it would be the same thing, bomb. And I was like, this is a waste of my time. I'm not doing these anymore. And then another year or 2 went by and I really saw this shift in the market and how people want to party on Facebook now versus in their home. It's quicker, it's easier, it's more convenient. And we're really used to that online shopping experience, you know, with the Amazon Prime. Everyone orders stuff on Amazon. So I learned really quickly that I needed to get on board. And if I was going to do Facebook parties, I needed to learn how to do them. Oh, did I lose you guys? Can you still hear me?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I think I just got like a notification or something. Okay. So I needed to learn how to do them well so that they would be as successful for me as a home party. So I really spent a year of my business working on this and focusing on this, and I found a key that really works well for me. So I'll share that with you guys. Okay, so if hostess coaching for a face-to-face party is important, hostess coaching for a Facebook party is crucial. It makes or breaks your party. And I promise you, it's not the script, it's not the wording, it's not the pictures, it's not the length of the party that determines the success. It is the hostess coaching. So lots of times I hear people talk about, well, should I do 3 days or 7 days? Should I do a 30-minute live? Should I do this or this or that? Can I use your script? Can I use your script? Can I use your script? I hear that all the time. It's really not about that. It's about the hostess coaching. So step one, just like a home party, the key to a great Facebook party is hostess coaching. And so I prefer to do it through videos. I do anywhere from 4 to 8 parties a month. And so to repeat myself over and over and over gets really old. So with videos, it saves me tons of time. And if you think about it, if you just do 2 Facebook parties a month, you're going to be saying the same thing 12 times over the course of the catalog season. So if you just make videos, get yourself comfortable with making a video, upload them to YouTube, you can share them with every hostess. You make sure she's getting the right hostess coaching, and you're saving yourself tons of time, tons and tons of time. So I will share with you guys my videos. So this is the first one that I show. Let me see if I can click on it and get it to play. And I send her this video, and then I say these words to her. And again, I'm going to share this with you guys, so don't feel like you have to jot it all down.
Slides too that I can share with us too. Okay, good. She sent me the PowerPoint, so that's great. Awesome.
Yep. So you don't have to feel like you have to write it all down. I'm going to let this video pull up here. But what I say, oh, no. Hi friend, if you're watching this video, it's because you've booked a Facebook party with me, and I am so excited to party with you and help you get tons of free product, discounted product, hostess specials, hostess exclusives, and all the works. So after 5 years in this business, I have really worked hard to make my Facebook party super successful, and I have a few things that I need you to do to help me help you so you can get the most free product possible. I promise I'm going to keep this simple, easy, and fun for you, and the majority of your work actually is now before your party actually starts. So the very first thing that I need you to do is come up with a list of anyone who might be interested in 31. You want to have about 40 to 60 people on your list, so think about your friends, relatives, coworkers, acquaintances, neighbors, people that you know through your kids or your spouse, people that you used to go to school with, people that you work with, all kinds of people, Facebook friends. Go through each of those categories and just jot their names down on a piece of paper. It doesn't have to be anything official. You don't have to give the list to me. You're just going to keep their names jotted down on a piece of paper because you're going to use that list to invite them. So I don't want you to say anything to them yet. Just jot their names down on a piece of paper, and as soon as you get that step done, let me know, and I'm going to go ahead and give you the next step. In the meantime, I'm so excited to party with you, and I'm getting your party posts all ready to go. So I can't wait to hear from you. Okay. So that's the first video that I send my hostess, and you can see I'm really talking to her about that guest list. Now, once in a while, I'll have someone come back and they'll say, oh, I know who I'm going to invite. And I'll tell her, perfect. I just need you to jot their names down because you're going to need that list for step 2. So I really get her to do that. If I don't hear back from her in 24-ish to 48 hours, I'll message her again and I'll say, hey, just want to check in with you. How's your list coming? When she does message me back and tells me she has her list done, I always ask how many names she has on it. You'd be surprised how many people will come back and tell me, oh, I've got 32. And so that gives me an opportunity before the party even starts to work with her to get to that 40 to 50 to 60 names. So if she says that, then I'll say, okay, let's brainstorm so we can get you up to 40 or 50 names. Did you look through your Facebook friends list? Did you? And I'll give her some suggestions to help her get to that 40 to 50. Okay. So I just kind of talked about this and helping her brainstorm to get to the at least 40 names. Here is my second step. I'll let this video load. So this is where I'm really talking to her about how to invite people to the party. And this is crucial, so important. Hi friend, I'm so excited that you have your list of potential guests done. So here's the next step. We want to invite all those guests, but rather than just adding them to the Facebook group, and some of them want to be there and some of them don't, and some don't know who I am and what this is even about, we want to actually do a personal invitation. We want your guests to have that exact same feeling as if they were walking into your home. So while we're not inviting them to your home, we want to invite them to the Facebook event. So I want you to send each of them a personal message. Now this can take a little bit of time, but you can copy and paste the message from one person to another and just change the name to save you on some time. But this is really crucial that you do personal messages, not group messages, because we want the people who are in your Facebook party to be there because they want to be there. So I want you to send each of them a personal message, and your message can say something just like this. Hey Mary, I hope you're having a great fall. I love 31's new fall catalog, and their holiday gift guide is absolutely adorable. I saw a few things that I think you would love. I'm hosting a Facebook party. It's all online. Would it be okay if I invite you? That's it. Simple, easy. Just type it up, change the name, copy and paste it, send it to all of your guests so that we're personally inviting each person rather than just adding them whether they want to be or not. Once you get your messages sent out, then you're going to just use that sheet of paper that you wrote all their names down on, and you're going to keep track of who says yes and who says no. So for all your yeses, maybe put a check mark or you highlight their name or something like that. Once you get all your messages sent out, I want you to let me know, and then I'm going to get your group created for you. And the hard work is over. So celebrate that the majority of your work is done and you are on track to earn lots of free product. I'll talk to you soon. Okay, so when I send her this, you can see I also text her the exact wording. So she doesn't have to type it up. She can copy it just directly from me and send it to everyone. I'll tell you the key to making sure this happens is I do not create her Facebook. I choose to party in groups versus events, but I do not create her Facebook group until I know this is done. If you do, she's just going to go ahead and add people. So do not create it or add her to it until this step is done. So I usually give her 48 hours to do this step, and if I haven't heard back from her, then I'll message her and I'll say, how are your messages going? Sometimes people get busy, they forget. Again, this party means more to you than it does her. So you're gonna want to reach back out to her, follow up with her, and lots of times you'll find she got busy and she forgot, and then she'll send her messages and get back with you. Okay, so once all the messages are sent out, I create her party. And this is really what is so important. I know you guys have seen, and you've probably been frustrated where people just add you to a group and you're annoyed and you're like, who even added me? Or when people play the games, if you've played this, please don't take offense, but when people play games and they're like, add all your friends to my group and you're going to win something, and then people just add you, and you're like, well, who even is this? Without asking your permission first. So this avoids the spam. You don't end up with a group with 150 people. Your guests aren't annoyed. They stay in the group and they purchase more. And I'll tell you from personal experience, I've been invited to 2 or 3 parties where someone messaged me and asked me if they could add me, and I had no intention of purchasing that product prior to this. And because they took the time to do that, I did stay in the group and I did purchase from them. So it makes a huge difference. Okay. The next thing is to create your group, and then your hostess needs to know what to do. So you're going to explain to her what her role is in the party. So I usually send a message saying your group is set up, go in and add your guests, but only, and I put that in all caps, add those who responded yes. Once you do that, you can continue to add anyone as long as you first ask them and second they say yes. And then I ask her to post a personal message in the group as well. And here's the video that I usually send her with this. Hey friend, I want to tell you a little bit more about your Facebook party.
So I'm going to start your party. I'm going to do a couple pre-party posts for a day or maybe two. And then I'm going to officially kick off your party. When it is your official kickoff, you'll know because the day starts with a introduction message and it says post number 1. So with that post, I'm going to ask all your guests how they know you and where they're from, the messiest room in their house, just some little questions like that. It's really, really crucial that you start the interaction right away with this post. So I want you to jump on first and comment with your answers, and then I want you to tag a couple friends to answer. And what would even work better is if you think about maybe your top 5 guests and send them each a little personal message and say, hey, our welcome post is up. Would you mind jumping on and commenting? Once they start commenting, then everyone else is going to comment. And the more people comment, the more people see the post. And the more people who see the post, more people order. So we want to get the commenting going and the interaction going right away and give that home party feel where you guys are partying together and hanging out and getting to know each other. So you're going to go ahead and do that. And then your post will run for 7 days. So each day has a different theme, and you'll see that. And then depending upon where that 7th day falls, we might extend it a couple days so that we can close on a weekend. So when we're ready to close, I'm going to give a last call for orders and things like that. The next thing that I need you to do after that welcome post is just make sure that you comment on every post. I want you to think about if you walked into a party and you smiled at every single person, but you didn't speak to anyone. It'd be kind of awkward, right? So that's kind of what liking a post is like. So it's really crucial that you're commenting on every post. And you'll see with the post, I either ask a question or I ask you to share. So you can comment like that. Or maybe if you see a product that I put up that you know your friend Jane would like, you can comment and tag her and say, hey, Jane, I think you would love this for the kids' sports activities. Or maybe you can share what you love about the product if you have it. But the more that you comment and interact, the better. Remember that your guests don't know me, they know you, and they're in that group to party with you. And they want to know what you think about the product and what you like about the product. So make sure that you're commenting on every single post, and whether you have time to do that as I post them or just at the end of the day, you go back through and review everything and comment, either one works as long as you're being active. When your friends comment, make sure that you comment back to them, acknowledge their comments, acknowledge their posts, carry out a little conversation with them. If you do that, I promise your party is going to be super successful, and I can't wait to help you pick out all your rewards and get your shopping spree. I will talk to you soon.
All right, so that is the video that I send her right before I start her party. And this is just super important because the way Facebook works, the more that your hostess comments, the more her guests will see the post in their newsfeed. And then the more likely they are to comment, and the more likely more people will see it. If no one's commenting, no one's seeing your post. That's really just how it works. So this is something I message my host on the daily. So if day 1 goes by and I don't see that she's interacting, I'm going to message her and be like, hey girl, it's really important for you to comment. And then I explain what I just told you guys. I explain to her that no one will see him if she's not participating. Okay, so it's definitely important to share with her exactly what you want from her. Again, you're the party expert, not her. So you want to tell her how to respond to guests. You want to tell her what to comment. You want to explain to her that liking a post is very passive. The next thing that I want to talk to you about is building relationships with your guests. And this is the most important thing. I think sometimes we get a little distracted and we think, okay, well, I got a party, now people should order. And it's really about you building a relationship with those guests. Everyone in that party is your potential customer, hostess, or team member. So there's some different ways that you can do that. I always have a link 2 different times for people to join my VIP group in my party. That's incredibly important, so that if they don't buy, they're at least coming to my VIP group, and I might can continue to build a relationship with them, and they might order down the line. I also do a mail call where I offer to mail a full-size catalog to people who want it. You can choose to do that or not. I make sure that I comment on everything that they're commenting on. So if your hostess is commenting on everything, but you're not getting to know her guests. So I'm always commenting when they comment. on that welcome post where they start to share some things about, you know, their favorite food and where they work and how they know the hostess, I'm welcoming every single person to the party. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I don't like cauliflower either. Or, oh, you work at, you know, such and such children's hospital. Do you like it? How long have you been there? Like, I'm getting to know her. Whenever it's possible, I move the conversation to a personal message. So if someone asks me a question about a product, I'm going to answer her, and then I'm going to say, I'm going to send you a PM, and I will send her a graphic with all the other prints available, or the dimensions, or, you know, things like that. I always try to help my guests order. So I never, ever, when someone asks me a question, I never just give them my link and let them go shop. And I'll tell you, it makes a huge difference. I had someone last week that wanted to order something. Actually, it was a couple weeks ago. It was in September. They wanted to order something, and it was like $35 or $38. And so I could have just gave her my link. I think she asked me, you know, does it fit XYZ, a phone or something? And I was like, oh, yes. And I could have just said yes and gave her my link and left it at that. But instead, I, in a personal message, said, I can order it for you. You know, which print do you like? And she told me, and I said, now you qualify for one of our specials. And so she ended up doing that and then personalizing it. And I added like $47 to the order because I gave her that customer service and I put the order in for her. So I always try to do that whenever possible. I always try to show personalization options. So before I even say, do you want it personalized? I will do a couple, like 3 or 4 personalization previews and send them to her and say, I really love this product personalized like this. What do you think? Would you like some personalization? So just assume the sale and send her some personalization options like that. Do you guys have any other ideas that you use to help you build relationships with your guests?
Yeah, anything, Jen?
And just as many times as you can personal message someone. I do like when I do the guest, like the which kit I do the for joining. I do the which kit would you pick, the A or B, and then I reply to their comment and then and personal message every single person who comments to get the conversation going. And they're always joined, but then we'll move to booking or whatever. And then I try to friend request all of those people. People who order, I try to friend request because that furthers the relationship from outside the party as well. So those are the other 2 things. Like the more people you can friend request from the party. I mean, but I'm very open on my personal page, and everybody is. So that's something that I do because then they'll see your messages 6 months from now when you contact them for follow up.
Could you hear her?
I did. I love that idea. When you ask her that she chooses which kit, A or B, when you start the conversation with her, what do you typically say?
I'll like on the party I'll reply like, oh, I love this product in that kit, and then I'll message her like, you know, what was your favorite product from the kit, and I'll say, talk about, you know, when I get her to answer that, then I'll say, well, you know, the kit's $99. That product is trying to show some value add there, or I try to make it as personal as I can. So it depends on the person. Like if they've been really active and I already know that like they're a stay-at-home mom, or that like they have a lot of 31, or this is their first party, I tailor that conversation around them if I can. If not, I start with, well, what's your favorite product, and try to show the value. Or if there's a current incentive, I'll talk about that.
I love that.
Me too.
Genius. Very good. Great ideas. Anybody else have any ideas on like how you build relationships with guests in a Facebook party?
Yes. Nope, that was it. That was a good one though.
It was a good one. So just make sure that you're building those relationships. Make sure you're connecting with them. That's how you grow your business. It's really all about the relationships. And women are emotional buyers. We like to buy from someone we know and trust. So the more you can show your personality and get to know them and they get to know you, the more they're going to become your customer. Okay, so the last step is the reminder. So when we get, anytime someone orders, I'm going to thank them on the party page, and I'm going to post a thank you graphic. That way my hostess knows. But when we get towards the end of the party, first of all, I always do my last call for orders on a Friday, and then I say I do one more last call. We're closing the party soon on a Saturday. You're just going to do better like that, because if you run your party 7 days and then close the following Friday, you've caught 2 Fridays, which is typically 2 paydays. for people, or one payday for, depending on which Friday they get paid. So that makes a big difference. People are more likely to say yes on Friday, as you guys know. And so it's easier for your hostess to message people who haven't ordered on Friday and get a yes. So I'll share this video with you. And I'll tell you, lots of times I don't have tons of orders on that last day, but this really makes a huge difference.
Woo! Your party is complete. So here's what I need you to do now. I want you to go back through, and I'm going to give you a list of everyone who's ordered. So I want you to go back through, and anyone who hasn't ordered, who responded yes, and you invited to your party, I want you to send them a quick message and just say something like, hey girl, my Facebook party is almost over and it's closing soon. Is there anything you had a question about, or can I help you with placing an order? Simple and easy. Copy and paste that, send that to your guests, and that's really going to help remind them that party's closing, and then see if they have any questions and if they're interested in ordering. So I can't wait to help you pick out your wish list soon.
Okay. So that really makes a big difference. If you can get her to go back through and send those messages, lots of times, the way Facebook is and how they change stuff, sometimes people haven't seen any of the party posts, or they saw the first day and then they forgot, or they get busy, or they meant to order but they haven't had time, or they meant to order but they're waiting on payday. So when you have your hostess do this, it makes a huge difference. 90% of the time when my hostess does this, her party jumps from $200 or $300 to $500 or $600. I usually get 4 to 6 orders when she does this. So it's definitely worth your time to get her to do this. And then again, you just want to make sure that you're thanking people for their order. And that's it for hostess coaching. Does anyone have any questions about that?
Good stuff. Any questions? Well, they know I preach videos, and you breaking it down though, I mean, that's way better than I needed it. I transparency like you, only you're ahead of me, that I have dabbled like, okay, yes, I need to learn Facebook because it's not my favorite. Like you said, I like home party. That's where I started. That's what I need. And I know I need to learn them, and I have, but that was even more than what I'm doing, and I love it. Like, I love the quick and simple, easy videos. And like I said, I already push videos, voice recordings, that kind of thing, so that it's as much as we can get it to feel like the home party, the better. That's the key. And that was great. Having the verbiage and all of that, awesome. Anybody
It's
else?
definitely, too, about working smarter, not harder. It's, I spent one morning, and that was my video day, and I sat down. It was 2 years ago. I don't know if you guys caught that, but it said I've been in 3-1 for 5 years. So I did that 2 falls ago. So I've used those same videos for the last 2 years. And I just, picked a day where I had my hair and makeup done and sat down and made them. And then I don't know if you noticed, but a couple of them had, 300 views because I've used them just tons for my hostesses and for helping girls start with a lunch party. I use it for that too. So it's definitely helpful. Okay. You guys want to take a break, or are we good to go?
Well, our Zoom will probably only last so long anyway. So yeah, let's take a break, and then I can restart a new one because it's going to die.
That sounds perfect.
Yep. So just give us 5 minutes or so. I'll send you one.
Okay.
Sounds good. Thanks. Oh, that was awesome. Yeah, it was. Awesome.